Today's episode of Professor Oddfellow's Penetralia is brought to you by the Minimalist Coloring Book. Paper reflects all colors, crayon optional.
Can a coloring book, much less a minimalist coloring book requiring just a white crayon or no crayon at all, actually be read aloud? There's always my way. The Minimalist Coloring Book. The Minimalist Coloring Book Abridged. Lie back here on page 1. Stare at the ceiling, and our journey will begin with the sandcastle on the flat-floored valley of White Sands, New Mexico, where the mirage and the dust devil play upon waves of chalky dunes in a miniature Sahara of sugar-like gypsum, clean as the southwest wind that sifted and shifted and shaped them. Our sandcastle of gypsum might one day transmogrify into wall plaster, cement, chalkboard chalk, or a sculptor's alabaster. But for now, it gradually crawls to the northeast, under the impetus of the winds, at the rate of 8 inches a year. The peoples of Alamogordo, 12 miles away, will prepare to abandon their city in several thousand years. But let us leave the White Sands Castle to its unhurried yet inexorable drift. For what page 2 shows, spelled the old-fashioned way with an E for the O, as if it might rhyme with hues. Now the snowdrifts are no longer illusory, and the sandcastle is replaced with an ice palace ruled by the Snow Queen. But hist! A natural exclamation first recorded in English in the late 16th century. And hark! An old High German hunting cry. To hark back originally referred to hounds returning along a track when the scent had been lost, till they found it again. We must use proper etiquette for declining the Snow Queen's invitation to creep inside her furs. The fine points of properness never go out of season. However, don't let etiquette overrule your common sense regarding hypothermia. Most weather lords and ladies consider it the greatest discourtesy to refuse an offer of hospitality without an acceptable excuse. Be honest. And remember that the justification of being cold-natured actually pays subtle courtesy to any snow queen or ice princess. Expressing an anticipation of a chilly winter, especially an icy needle shower, will soften your rejection. Here's an exemplative response. Your Majesty, I will be unable to accept the kind invitation to creep inside your furs. Due to my cold-naturedness, I must presently hurry back indoors. I do, however, so look forward to a deep blanket of snow, obliterating all familiar landmarks. And so the Snow Queen dismisses, surely not exiles, us to page 20. The moon isn't enshrouded by fog. Behold, a timber wolf in bright moonlight, baring its teeth, followed by a ghost, its moon-cast shadow of night white, gliding on the mist, the ghost of its true father. The timber wolf's breath is the color of steam. Sometimes it's as if we're one with that creature, or with its moon-cast shadow. Sometimes we move with him through the forests of white-barked birches, white-barked aspens, white-barked sycamores, and white-barked poplars, spotting the white-tail and snowshoe rabbits with him. And we run and run through the snow, just snow as far as we can see. As this story never ends, we'll leave a good handful of salt on the frozen ground and clear off while the animal feasts upon every last grain. On page 28, who is that daisy in the lovely white silk gown with a symphony of chiffon ruffles and a dream of a pearl-colored plush opera cloak lined with white fur? Nobody we know, though the trace of his face powder seems a familiar color. Thus made up, He's made off from page 29, a dazzling white and opulent Greek villa-like hotel that offers spacious, comfortable rooms decorated in a clean, gleaming style. Parenthetically, service is attentive and competent, and the ivory-toned spa offers a wide range of professional beauty treatments, including milk baths. A sensual, bright-tiled private swimming pool, flanked by white-flowered arugula gardens, is just a step away from your bedroom via a private patio. Rejuvenate your spirits by relaxing at your indoor or outdoor jacuzzi, or perhaps enjoy the brisk stimulation of an open-air shower, then dry off with naturally bleached cotton towels. Expect a white chocolate on your pillow every night and a white rose on your breakfast tray. In parenthetical. Under an overcast sky, a ghostly white yacht shimmers in the water. The white shape of a figure stands on the villa's raised white terrace, cream stucco, a row of pompous white stone divinities along its cornices. He appears to be the legate of the sun, with a lace collar, a pale suit, a white gardenia in his buttonhole, an old-fashioned white Panama hat, a snow-white goatee and white walrus mustache, and a Meerschaum-handled cane. He pulls out a handkerchief to dust off a macabre Pierrot skull mask. There's nothing strange about him. And so we flip ahead, past trickling hourglass sand, past the progress of the chess queen's light-squared bishop, past rice sweetened with coconut milk, past a white rat vacillating between goat's cheese and a bag of flour, past a winter-bandaged landscape, past a ghost configured of smoke, past the angels of swans and seraphims' breath, past open-mouthed oysters and their pearls, past a white fox's footprint in ashes, past a white knight as white as the moon on his noble steed as white as the moon, past the white fur coat of a stoat, past cotton balls at the peak of bloom, past the vestal candle on the altar of thought, past polar bears carved in marble, past uncounted sheep in a fog, past learned papers about ceramics and quartz and albino crocodiles, past a relic dangling in obtuse space, past blanched almond powders, past Fuji's peak under the lamp of Venus, past white shoes on Easter, past the shivering stalks of bellflowers as white as kings in trembling ermine, past hoary cobwebbed bones wrapped in linens and silks, past eggshells painted as kabuki actors, past a tippet of tulle pinned with a hound's tooth, past the white convolvulus, past a seemingly dead princess in a glass coffin carried by 7 dwarves, and past her future wedding gown, past seashells in sea foam, past souls as white as heaven on any Christmas, past Psalm 68's wings of doves covered with silver, as white, as white, as white, as white, as white, as white as snow in Zalman. We flit past every simile that should have been a metaphor, to the alabaster of an unresolved problem, itself as white as a plaster death mask on a page of a coloring book you aren't reading. This has been the audio version of the Minimalist Coloring Book Abridged. I'm Professor Oddfellow.